I think one of the things we have to remember, it's hard to remember, but I think we have to remember that, we take liberty for granted. We just think it's normal. If you're an American, you think liberty is the normal state of the human condition. But history tells us that liberty is rare. I mean, Lord Acton has this great line that says, liberty is the delicate fruit of a mature civilization. And if we think about that it's delicate, so you can lose it very easily. But what kind of civilization? A mature civilization. I mean, I actually think we are in a crisis of adulthood. And other people have been talking about this. Liberty requires mature adults who take responsibility for themselves. When I say adult, I don't mean over 25 or over 21 or something. I don't mean over 18. I mean, there are people who are 65 years old who are adolescents. I mean, we need mature adults who take responsibility for themselves. The problem is, that sounds boring, but that's false. It's a lie. Being an adult is invigorating. I mean, being an adult means that you can now make decisions for yourself, right? And if you make bad decisions, then you get the consequences of the decisions. And that's what's called experience. This is not a popular thing to say, but we live in a highly adolescent culture because freedom requires sacrifice. Now we kind of hear, oh, freedom requires sacrifice. I mean, it does require the sacrifice of our troops, but freedom requires personal, daily sacrifice. Lord Acton said that freedom has been a hard thing to hold on to. But he also said that liberty is not the ability to do what you want, but the right to do what you ought. And so if you can't have self-government without individuals who govern themselves. And who are the only people who govern themselves? Adults. Children don't govern themselves, right? If you raise children, you have to help them govern themselves. You teach them. The purpose of raising a child is you don't raise a child, right? James Stenson says you don't raise a child, you raise an adult. Because you're preparing that child to take care of himself and be responsible and look to himself or and solve problems. And I think that, unfortunately, we have an adolescent culture that's focused on self-gratification that's immediate. But liberty doesn't come with immediate self-gratification. Alexis de Tocqueville says that the dangers of extreme liberty we see, but we don't see the dangers of extreme equality. As I said before, equality creates a love of comfort that enervates people and takes away their capacity to be free, because freedom requires heroism. Aristotle said that the free person is a virtuous person. Right? A free person is a virtuous person who takes responsibility, right? Who seeks after the good. But let's face it. If I say to you, okay, let's say somebody's watching me talk here, and I say, well, in order to be free, you need to be adults. Well, that's not very inspiring. But if I say, hey, we need a national action plan, that's exciting, right? The problem is national action plans don't bring freedom, right? I mean, freedom in some ways is the most exhilarating thing ever, because you have before you a multitude of options. Freedom, as exhilarating as it is actually kind of boring, hard work. It takes adults. And being an adult means you can have fun, but you can't be capricious and whimsical and just do what you want all the time, right? Because if you do an action, that action has consequences, and you need to make a decision to live out your promises. I mean, George Washington said, let us not think we can have liberty without morality, or morality without religion. Why? Because if you're not a moral individual who takes care of yourself and who takes care of the people around you and is responsible, then somebody has to do it for you, because you need social order. So social order either comes from inside us or social order comes from outside us, right? But anarchy can't last forever.